Hello everybody, my name is Brianna Bilo and I'm a meteorologist here with the National Weather Service in Grand Junction, Colorado, and this is your winter 2021 to 2022 seasonal climate summary. As March 1st marked the beginning of meteorological spring and wrapped up meteorological winter, you get a bit of a 2-for-1 this month. And just to clarify, meteorological winter was the months of December, January, and February. So just to kind of recap meteorological winter, we'll be going over our stories of the month from each month, starting with December. So the December story of the month was the epic winter storm cycle that we had, where we saw a succession of strong, wet winter storms that brought substantial snowfall across the area, where mountain areas would see 1 to 3 feet weekly, nearly, and specifically a little over a week period of December 23rd to January 1st, the mountain saw 8 to 14 feet. And then this graphic down here kind of shows our top 10-day snowfall totals for that period, with Schofield Pass coming in at 170 inches, which equates roughly to 14 feet. And our 5th place winner, Columbus Basin, at 95 inches is roughly 8 feet. If you want to know the other totals, you can just divide that by 12. If you want to know even more totals, you can always reach out to us. We have all the data on file. And beyond just the mountain snow, which was impressive to begin with, the Grand Valley actually saw its first measurable snow on Christmas Eve with 1 inch. And then again, a week later, we got 4 inches of snow here at the office. And actually, even at my house, we got 3 to 4 inches of snow on New Year's Eve. And then just to kind of show this image here, this was Christmas Eve over Coal Bank Pass. The image is courtesy of CDOT. Looks like a pretty messy travel day, not only because it's Christmas Eve, but also I really wouldn't want to have been out in those conditions. But then again, I mean, you know. As far as the story of the month for January, we have the January 8th freezing rain event, which kind of falls into the theme of treacherous travel conditions over the winter, where on the morning of January 8th, we had a quick moving cold front making its way across the area. We were expecting to see some snow across the northern and central mountains. You can actually see a little bit of the winter weather advisory we had up that morning up here. But as far as the Grand Valley was concerned, we really weren't expecting to see a whole lot. But as the sun rose that morning, we started getting reports of freezing rain, glazed over cars, some slick spots on the road, and the event was actually widespread enough that it warranted the first ice storm warning for the Grand Valley that has been issued since the ice storm event in 2017. Now, this one was nowhere near as impactful as the 2017 event. We saw, again, some glazing, some slick spots on the road, some treacherous walking conditions on porches and sidewalks, but the event was over by the afternoon. But you know, even still, pretty exciting. First ice storm warning we've issued in 5 years. That's pretty cool. And then wrapping it out, if I can get my mouse to work, there we go. Wrapping things up, we have the February story of the month, and if you caught my monthly climate summary video, you'll have already heard this one, but just to go over it again in case you didn't see that one. We have the February 21st to 24th winter storm, which is actually composed of multiple waves of low pressure with a little bit of a lull in the middle, where the first wave brought mainly mountain snow and some precipitation to the lower valleys that was mixed rain and snow. And then again, the second half brought snow across the area, from your lowest desert valleys to your highest mountain peaks. Everybody got in on the snowfall with this one. We also saw bands of heavier snow that moved through specifically on the morning of the 23rd, which led to rapidly changing and treacherous travel conditions. Running theme here, especially along the I-70 corridor, which is illustrated here by these images. This is I-70 on the morning of the 23rd. That does not look like a fun time. So on top of what had already fallen, these bands brought a quick inch or two of snow, and the lowest elevations, including Moab and Grand Junction, saw anywhere from 2 to 6 inches. Your higher valleys saw 8 to 12, and your mountain areas saw multiple feet of snow. So looking at our high temperatures, getting into some climate data here, our warmest high was 62 in Canyonlands on the 20th of February. And our lowest high was 57 in Aspen on the 2nd of December. As far as our low temperatures, our warmest low was a balmy 5 degrees in Canyonlands on the 3rd of January, and that was a very cold time right in the wake of that major winter storm in December. And then our coldest low was negative 25 in Craig on the 3rd and the 26th of February. And again, Craig got quite a bit of snow this winter, which led to them being stuck underneath an inversion for a good portion of January and into February, which is how we got these very, very cold temperatures. Even when much of the area was climbing up into the upper 30s, 40s, even into the 50s down here in Grand Junction, they were stuck in the teens and 20s for all the way up through the end of February, pretty much. Which is a bit interesting because actually, I'm going to throw in some fun science facts here. Normally, that inversion will set up over vernal because they'll get more snow, and so they'll be the ones who stay cold and just constantly cold and snowy, where this year, for reasons that I can't quite explain yet, this happened in Craig. As far as precipitation, we did unfortunately come out generally below normal across the board, with only Aspen and Grand Junction coming out with above normal precipitation for the 3-month seasonal period. Aspen was also our big winner here with a little over 3.5 inches of precipitation over the 3-month period, which was 0.8 of an inch above normal. And then vernal came out at the bottom here with just 0.86 of an inch of precipitation, which is roughly half of what they should have seen over this 3-month period, where their deficit was 0.84. And everyone else was somewhere in between, but generally outside of Grand Junction, which was almost an inch above average, and Aspen, everybody came out below normal for the 3-month period. Looking at our spring 2022 outlook, so this is the seasonal drought outlook. It looks very similar to the monthly drought outlook I showed in my other video, where we have areas that have climbed their way up into the D0 or abnormally dry category per the drought monitor, which is technically not classified as drought. Hence, these areas, specifically in central west Colorado, showing up on the seasonal trends for drought redevelopment likely. We will have to watch how this meteorological spring progresses to see if that plays out. But as for the rest of eastern Utah and western Colorado, we are looking at drought persisting yet again. And then looking at our seasonal outlooks as far as precipitation and temperature, unfortunately, we are looking at chances of above normal temperatures for the season, and we are looking at chances favored for below normal precipitation. Again, we'll have to see how the season plays out, but unfortunately, all those hard-fought gains that we got over a particularly wet winter, we'll have to see how long they last. So until next season, I will be back here in 3 months with another seasonal one. I will be back here in 1 month with another monthly one. And I have the top 10 weather events tallied up. I just have to get the presentation put together. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. It will be coming out very soon. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed.